Julius Randle, whose shooting struggles have really continued through most of these 5 games to start the season. He struggled again last night, really didn't do much offensively. And as opposed to the first game in Cleveland where he, I thought, moved the ball pretty well, rebounded, created shots for his teammates. You didn't see that much Wednesday night against the Cavs. What are you seeing from Randle right now?
Well, I see a lot of things that happened in the game last night that were strange. You're thinking the Knicks coming off a real solid victory in Cleveland, and then you turn it around to home. You think you're going to clean up the home and home. There are a lot of guys who are off in the game, but Randle, pretty much from start to finish, it's about his decision-making, and you have to start looking at that from the very top of the game. And I think what the Knicks are trying to do to get him some shots, to give him some play calls, they're isoing him at the elbow. They're isoing him off the lane, and he's kind of over on the court all by himself. The further that he goes to the lane and the more that he plays with his back to the basket, that's where he gets in a lot of trouble. And a hard help, a quick double team, a late double team, those are the things that he struggles with the most. And he has, even in his good seasons with the Knicks. When you come and get him late, then where is the pass out? And then last night, there were times where he's trying to take on double teams and shoot anyway. The decisions and some of the effort plays in last night's game, I think, were very concerning.
Shaun, from the Knicks wall, what is your perspective? What do you think? Is it too early to be concerned about Randle? Where are you?
It's not too early to be concerned about Randle at all, honestly. I've come into every season almost, it feels like, trying to give Julius Randle a clean slate. And, shooting 28% from the field is one thing. Struggles happen. You can turn that around. But it's just the energy. He just doesn't look like he wants to be out there. He's like not even late, but just completely not making defensive rotations. He let Max Strus look like Russell Westbrook driving by him on the fast break last night. He's not closing out. He's not boxing out and hitting the boards like he should. Like he was grabbing like 12, 10 rebounds a night. Last night, he's barely on the boards. And it's just like, if you're not going to shoot well, do the other things. Like play with effort, play with intensity, set screens well. He set a screen for Quick last night and didn't roll or pop, and kind of Quick ended up taking like a 30-footer. But he looks like he doesn't care. And as a fan personally, it hurts to see that. It's tough to – I feel like I would run through a wall for anyone in orange and blue, and it doesn't seem like Julius Randle would run through a wall for anyone in orange and blue, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, just talking to him, knowing him, being around him for the last few years, his care factor is there, but there's no denying what you see on tape sometimes where the possessions, it seems like he just takes some of them off. Our guy, IQ for 3 on Twitter, he put together a thread of some of Randle's plays. I thought – some of those plays, it was more of a team thing than a Randle thing. So to single him out on some of those, I thought was a little bit unfair because Brendan notes he wasn't the only one who was kind of loafing at times last night. But you have to believe what your eyes are telling you. And Brendan, when you see Randle, did you see him at, less than 100%, 50% on some of those defensive possessions? What did you see?
Let's talk about the context of the game. You haven't played a great first half, and you're still up by 1. Can you do what you did in Cleveland in the third quarter? And, you're at home. You should be able to do that as a 5-man unit, get a surge, and put Cleveland away when only Mitchell scored in the first half. What happened, and then Randle would be the epicenter of some of that, is he had a streak. Like mentioned before, he lets a layup go right by him on the break when the game is very tight. He goes for a loose ball, doesn't really get it, doesn't really run after it on the offensive end of the floor. Had an offensive rebound in his hand, and a Cleveland guy just comes by and swipes it away. And a lot of these plays happened in a relatively short period of time where you're expecting the Knicks to surge, whether it's with the first group or the bench group or etc. And it was just like when he gets bad, and it happened 2 years ago when the Knicks didn't make the playoffs under Tom Thibodeau, when he gets distracted, that's the right word. Is it a fan? Is it a referee? Is it one of his teammates? Is it a guy on the other team where he just kind of starts floating around mentally? This is where you have a situation now where there is no Toppin and there is no other power forward. So you're worried about Randle. Oh, if he gets hurt, they don't have a balanced roster. Well, in the third quarter of the game last night, you want to pull him, really, and you don't have an appropriate power forward to put in there. You say, well, go small. There are good parts to that and bad parts to that. But you don't have like a governor on Randle right now because you don't have a true power forward behind him.